And you're watching PG13.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the PG13 After Show. I am Dave Owens. I'll be your host here today. I'm not the only host, but I am the host. And we are joined by none other than the Crossland Cavaliers are in the house. Give them a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause. Right. The Crossland Cavaliers are in the house. What's up, fellas? It's good to see you. Good to talk to you again. You know these guys very well. They need no introduction, but I'm going to introduce them, of course. Eric Knight, Coach Knight, who has been around this community for a long, long time, doing great things in Prince George's County. We welcome you here. We're going to be talking to you a lot throughout the day. Justin Holloway, senior quarterback. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Okay.
Doing an outstanding job on and off the field. Quarterback, defensive back, senior, leader. We'll hear from him in just a second. And all the way over to my right, I can't reach over and give you a handshake. Yes, I can. My arms are getting longer in my old age. Marquez Hancock, senior, defensive back. Again, both of these young men doing great things on the field and off the field. 2.7, 2.6 GPAs, getting it done in the classroom. So we appreciate them for that as well. What a season for the Crossland Cavaliers. Coach, not a lot of people thought that you would win 7 games. You won 7 games. How does it feel to even hear that?
It was a pleasure. It was pleasurable. It was a lot of fun.
I'm sure it was.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good. We'll get into more of that in just a second, how they feel, how these guys feel. But, of course, I'm not the only host of this show. Sharice Hoffman is our wonderful co-host. Let's go over to Sharice, and I want all you guys to chip in and say hello, Sharice, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hello,
Sharice.
Hi, everybody.
Sharice Hoffman, our great co-host. What's going on, Sharice?
All right. Well, welcome, Cavaliers, to the PG13 After Show. So I have an initial question for you and everyone that are watching. So as Dave just said, you won 7 games this season, 7-4, a great season. I want to hear a word or phrase from you all that sums up this season for you as a whole.
That's a good question. I like that. That's for the players and also for our viewers who are watching back home as well. Justin, if you had to put it in a phrase or a word, what would you say? I mean, you're the quarterback, you're the leader. What would you say?
Dominant.
Dominant. Why?
Because we were just dominant all around. Even though we had some ups and downs, we were still dominant.
Yeah, and you beat some really good football teams down the stretch, Fairmont Heights as well. Coach, what would your word or phrase be, and why?
Payday. We got paid for all the hard work that we've been putting in over the last few years.
Not literally paid.
No, we didn't get any finance, but we got a lot of joy, a lot of satisfaction out of that.
Yeah, and I spent a lot of time with you guys, especially late in the season. That joy certainly showed itself because you saw a lot of smiles on the faces of players. Makes a difference when you're winning and not losing. Marquez, what about you? What would be your word or your phrase for this 2018 season?
Powerhouse. Next year is only going to go more. It's going to be up. It's going to be 8 games, 9 games. It's going to continue to go up from here. I believe in the little guys we have there. I believe in JV, Anthony James, a bunch of players that's on our team. It's just going to keep it up.
Yeah, and you could feel that energy and that buzz around this team on the field and also in the school as well. And we spent some time inside the school, and we'll certainly talk about that. This is an interactive show, so for you folks who are at home, I got a feeling Crossland Nation is in the house watching this game right now. Principal Gilchrist, are you out there? We want to hear from you. So what we want you to do at home, don't forget, if you have a phrase, if you have a word, we want you to type it in. Go to the search bar. You're watching this on VoxWave. We're in their beautiful studios. We appreciate them for that. We want to hear what Crossland Nation feels about this team in 2018. What would the phrase be? What would the word be? And why? And we'll shout you out. So we want to hear from the Crossland Nation as well. Coach, again, you've been around this thing for, 40 some odd years. This year was great, 7-4, I think 7-5 you ended up.
7-4.
But boy, the years leading up to that, not so much. How did you turn this thing around?
Well, it dealt with a lot of patience and hard work and consistency.
Yeah.
And we basically went ahead and decided that we were really going to concentrate on our younger players initially and develop our younger players so that, like, when this year came around, I really saw the class of 2019 as being a special class for us. Right when they walked in the building, you could see they were athletic. They followed directions. They had that desire to be successful.
As players, though, guys, it's not easy because you got to deal with a lot of losing. It's easy to give interviews when you're winning and you're going to the playoffs. You young men have been involved with this program when it wasn't always so easy. So how difficult was it, Justin, to sort of stay the course, especially being a quarterback, being a leader where young people look up to, hey, how's Justin dealing with all this stuff? How difficult was it to stay the course when you weren't 7-4, or you might have been 2-9 or 1-10? How difficult was it?
Like, it was difficult because like as a team, like we would argue and then it just get worse. Like after every game, we just argue about how we lost, and then it just get worse after every week.
Yeah.
And then for me as a quarterback, I try to like stop that, but then they just keep doing it. It just get worse, and that's how the records go how they are.
Well, your leadership was tested, and we talked about that when we gave the interview. You had to stand up and really make sure guys were working through that in a positive way. Marquez, for you, could you notice a difference? And when did that difference occur? When did the team say, you know what, I think we got something here?
It was last year. It was after the Parkdale game. It was like, it was a difference. After losing at Fairmont, we made, like, everybody came together and we was like, we gotta change it. Like, we gotta change it now. And then we came out and we beat Parkdale in our last game. And then after that, we knew it was like, next year's gonna be different.
I remember talking to your coach early in the season, and Coach, you told me, Dave, we got something here. We got something here. And you weren't just talking.
No, I was sure of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we had lost 5 games by a total of 16 points in the fourth quarter or overtime the year before, and, you know, any one of those games was winnable. So I knew something was coming about.
Well, it says something about the character of these young men and the coach, the program, the school in general, when you can turn it around, because there's a lot of programs out there that are always at the top. These guys built it from the ground up, did an outstanding job. Let's take a look at our time with the Crossland Cavaliers. Spent about a week with the guys as they got ready for some big games. This is part of the turnaround. Early in the week, catching up with the coach and his players, we call this part Believe in the Land. Take a look.
Oh, he looks like me?
You've been doing this for 41 years, man.
Right.
Or something like that.
Right, 40-something. I like PG13 football. I think we got some of the best athletes in the country here.
A lot of these kids who were here before in the past 3 years, the seniors, juniors, they didn't want it. They didn't love the game. And when they played, they played for themselves.
9th grade, coming as a freshman, I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna change it. You know, it's not gonna be just me at course, I gotta do it with my teammates. And then we just fall apart.
I told the kids here, hey, we know how to do it. You just gotta buy in. We lost 5 games by a total of 16 points. They right away realized we were in this.
I stuck around because I believed them. They took me in 9th grade. I wasn't doing too good, and they molded me into the man I am today.
That's powerful stuff there, Marquez, because you say you believed. You didn't have to believe. What was it about the coaching staff that made you believe in what they were talking about?
Because a lot of them, they come from the same type of situations we came from. Even Coach Knight, a lot of the coaches, Coach E, Coach Aaron, a bunch of them came from the same situations, and they stuck with us through JV all the way into our varsity years.
Justin, when you watch yourself and you see yourself there, you're talking about you come in the 9th grade year. You had a lot of high hopes for your time here, and you had to believe as well. I know you're a senior and you've sort of left you won't be playing anymore for Crossland football. Do you believe now, though, the foundation is set for something bigger to happen beyond your time even?
Yes, I do believe it's set because I believe in my teammates. You know, all my juniors and seniors, I believe in them.
Well said, no doubt about that. What about you, Coach? I mean, you see that piece there, and You know, you hear players say, we believe in what Coach Knight is saying. As a coach, that's got to make you feel good because that's kind of the core of what you're all about.
Yeah, and that's what we were hoping for. We just told them, hey, you follow what we do. We got the plan. You just got to follow the plan. You got to believe in the plan, stick with the plan, and it'll all come about. I mean, at first, like getting guys to come out and everything like that. Sometimes people say, "Oh, no, I don't want to be on that team. Y'all sorry."
Right.
But then as we started winning, we had guys like Game 7 coming up to me and saying,
pulling you over in the hallway.
"Hey, yeah, can I join the team?" I said, "No, you can't join the team. You join next year."
Man,
guys just wanted to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we have a good group coming back, and they saw what these guys, the work they put in, and they believed in it.
Well, I think that's the tough thing that people don't realize happens. You know, when you've got a tradition of winning, people want to be part of that. When you haven't won, people don't want to be part of it. So you can find yourself with 10, 15, 20 guys. You just kind of have to rally amongst yourselves, and you guys were able to do that, and that's what made what they did this season so impressive. I have word, though, that the social media world is hot right now when it comes to Crossland. So let's go back over to Sharice. Sharice, what do you have on social media? Is Crossland Nation, are they coming in big today?
We're having some Cavaliers coming to the mix
Is Cavalier
right now.
Nation speaking loud and proud?
Yes. So initially I asked the question, a word or phrase that describes the Crossland season as a whole. So number 2, Anthony James, he says greatness. He also says togetherness and brotherhood. And then we were just talking about Mr. Gilchrist. He also has something to say. First, he wanted to say, my guys, hashtag we are one Crossland.
We are one Crossland, yeah.
And to describe the season, he says, we are one.
There you go. There you go. Well, we appreciate them coming in big. Hey, your teammate had a heck of a year, too. I mean, we certainly could have featured him as well. He did a fantastic job. And big ups to your principal, who we're going to talk about here, Principal Gilchrist, here in just a second. Every school needs a good leader, and certainly he has stepped up to do that. It's a good segue, too, because sometimes players don't think this, Coach, and you know this as well as anybody. It's good to be supported. And your school community really came out and supported you this year.
Yeah, they really did. And Mr. Gilchrist really supported us.
Yeah.
I mean, from day one.
Sure.
And he stood by us, and like I said, he supported us. He let the kids know that, and we let them all know all season long. This guy's got our support.
Yeah.
He's got our backs.
Visible presence. I mean, I've been in the school with him, always in the hallways, shaking hands, making sure people get to where they are supposed to get. I'll get your guys' comment on school community here in just a second. But let's take a look at some of this school community. You heard it a little bit from Sharice. The hashtag is out, We Are One Crossland. It means something in the hallways over there at Temple Hills. Let's take a look at exactly what they mean as we get into the hallways and at Crossland High School with school community. Take a look.
This year, we have embraced the opportunity to have a united front. So when you see that We Are One Crossland, it's about everyone coming together and enjoying and being who Crossland really is.
They're excited. You can see there's streamers and stuff everywhere.
There's absolutely a buzz around the building. It's just a sense of pride. So our kids now are participating in other ways and not just going to the football games. We also have both soccer teams that are in the playoffs now. Our students have the spirit.
I'm ready. I'm pumped up. I'm ready for everything that's coming. I'm ready for the parade. He brought us together.
Yeah, really.
He brought us together.
He brought us together,
yes.
How so?
Changed the
Came in, he changed the culture.
Yeah. Like look what he did to our gym. He turned our whole gym.
It's more than that, though.
Yeah, it's more.
He gave us love, all of that.
We are one Crossland, and we're all in this together. Students, parents, faculty, staff, community members. And so that Crossland is us taking ownership and defining our own narrative.
Playoffs, yeah, playoffs, big 14. Yeah.
So in changing the logos and having the one in the logo and having the kids chant, We Are One Crossland, everyone understands that we are all here together and we're all here to make this a better place and really be great.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. You couldn't have said it any better than your principal. We are one Crossland. What's it mean to you? We are one Crossland. I guess the name speaks for itself, but that's real, isn't it?
Yeah. Because we all want Crossland. Like we together, like we a family.
Coach, I always preface my statements by saying you've been around programs for a long time. It's really important to have school community support, isn't it? And it must feel good to know that you've got it here at Crossland.
Yeah, the further the season went, the more you turn around and look behind you, the more the stands kept getting filled more and more. And then when you go on the road, all of a sudden you see our side all completely filled. It was a nice feeling. But you got to have that kind of support.
Yeah, Marquez, what's it mean to you? I know sometimes this question doesn't get asked, but I'm going to ask it. You know, listen, you're playing a sport. You don't need someone always to come up to you and say, hey, good job, good job. But that means something to you. Did that happen a lot more this year? And what did it mean to you when it did happen?
Oh, yeah, it happened way more this season. It means, like, you have support no matter what. Yep. Like, previous years when you losing, like, the support dies down once you start losing. But this year, even, like, everything, it was just more support no matter what.
Well said, well said. Well, not only did that support mean a lot in the classroom, it meant a lot on the field because you guys were able to turn it around. I mean, you saw that statistic earlier, 4-42 in the previous 4 or 5 years heading up to this season. You guys turned it around to 7-3 in the regular season, 7-4 after the playoffs. I'm going to go down the line here. What did it feel like to know that you got that winning season and then make it into the playoffs? Can you describe what that run was for you and just how it felt to Justin?
It felt exciting. Like I was just so happy because we was like going around the locker room just screaming, playoffs, we in the game. You know what I'm saying? It was rough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially all the rough times we had on that hill.
Yeah, speaking of that hill, what people don't know is over there across, they got this big old hill. Ooh. These guys run up and down. It's no joke, is it?
No. Coaches can't count either. 5 minutes, they can be on it for 30.
They play a song, it's a 7-minute song.
What you say? Coach Knight moves his count on that thing over there sometimes. But
Coach yeah.
I know that it had to feel good. You put in a lot of work. Coaches put in a lot of work. Your assistants as well. When the guys are there and well after they leave into the darkness of night, to know that this thing sort of manifested in a really good year had to feel good for you. You've had a lot of good coaching, a lot of good coaching jobs in this county. This one is probably as special as any.
Yeah, this was like one where we just came in and it was a major rebuild.
Yeah,
it was like starting over a brand new school, and like I tell you, it was a lot of satisfaction. These guys, like I said, everybody put in the work.
Sure.
And if you put in the work, you want good results from it. And we just couldn't let that thing slip away. I knew they hadn't been, that the whole program hadn't been there in 23 years.
Right.
And we weren't going to go ahead and say, Dag, we almost got there. We had to get there.
Well, and it wasn't guaranteed either, right? I mean, it came up to the last couple of weeks of the season. You had to beat Fairmont Heights. Yeah. Take me through that game. What was that like? Because they probably were a little favorite coming into that game, right? They were the number one team in the region for most of the year. I know, listen, you could argue whatever, but they had a solid football team.
Oh, yeah.
They came to your field, a wet, nasty day. Just take me through that day, Marquez, as you guys were able to wrap that playoff bid up.
Well, we knew they was coming in a swamp, so we was like, they're not going to be able to run that ball like they want to.
Yeah.
Our defense, we was like, we're going to hit them hard every time. They're not going to be able to run. They're not going to be able to run. They're not going to be able to pass, really, get off the line. We're going to jam them up. So it's just rough football.
And you guys prevailed in that game. The clock ticks down to 0-0-0, and you know you're in the playoffs. You guys were just jumping off. Describe what that was like for you. I mean, it had to just been the ultimate happiness.
I mean, like, it was exciting because, like, we really beat them, and it's like we about to go to the playoffs. Like, one more game to go. Like we seeing it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, that game against Fairmont Heights, we'll talk about that here shortly, got you the winning record, and then you had to beat Parkdale to get into the playoffs, and we'll pick it up right here. The last couple of weeks, pretty exciting around Crossland. Let's take you through the emotion of those last couple of games here right now. Take a look, everybody.
long time coming, fellas. I love y'all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know certain play like that set the tone for the game. So I know I got to motivate my team, and that's definitely the way to do it.
Being with these guys, it's been such a journey.
Me and my teammates, we came here, we did something that people haven't did in a long time, changed the football program around.
It feels great. I mean, it's something that you always get a little bit nervous in this situation, but the kids stepped up, they played hard.
First of all, the pride has been gone, but it's back now.
It's back.
It's honoring. I'm very proud of them. It makes you almost speechless.
It's more than special. It's real special.
We've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming, and it's just finally here.
It was great to see my family, Eric, and just being here on the last home game, last time I ever played on a Crossland football field, is so close to keep me from crying because this means so much to me.
Well, that's real emotion right there, right? From Darius, who had a great game during that day. What a special day. Can you take me back to that day? Because it was the last game of the season. You got into the playoffs. It was homecoming. The stands were packed. I mean, you know, there's a lot of naysayers out there to say, oh, it can't be done. You guys did it. How'd that make you feel?
Like, it made me feel like excited, like happy, because like we really did it. Like, instead of like sitting there and talking about it, we actually did it.
Right. Don't talk about it, be about it. Marquez, how about you? Your feelings on that day?
I don't even know. It was just crazy. It was like you was just in shock. Like going from like 1-7 on JV year, and then like 1-9 to 2-8, and then going all the way to 7-3 in the playoffs. It's crazy. And then you do it on your senior night and your homecoming, and then people were telling me it's like a 15-minute wait to get in the game.
Yeah.
I was like, what? It was just crazy.
Did you ever think, Coach, that it would be a 15, 20-minute wait to get into a game at Crossland? I mean, you probably would say, yes, you do. You did think that. But, I mean, a couple years ago, people might have laughed when you said that. But now it's happening.
Oh, it's happening now. I mean, there used to be times we could go ahead and turn around and say, "Dag, where are our fans at?"
Right.
And then all of a sudden now, like it was when we went up to Eastern Tech. That's where they I mean, you had to travel about an hour and a half, 2 hours that night. We had more fans than Eastern Tech did there.
Yeah, and you know, you could see that in the alumni on that piece there. There are a lot of people in the stands saying, "Hey, the pride is back." There's no doubt about that. So congratulations on a job well done. What a great season for these guys and, of course, the school community as well. I'm going to send it back over now to Sharice. Sharice, what's the social media world popping? Or are we ready for trivia to bring this show on home? What do you got?
Well, we will be ready for trivia in a little bit.
Okay.
So Principal Gilchrist also said a word to describe the season as family. And number 2, Anthony James says that you're coming back stronger than ever. And we also have Eric Hillian, who says family. And Principal Gilchrist also said that true stuff about the wait to get into the game. The parking lot was packed, completely packed, he said. And he said the band helped as well.
Yeah, the band was great.
Oh, my goodness.
Again, band, cheerleaders, teachers out there, family members, moms, dads, who, listen, it's tough to get the game sometimes. They were there showing up for these young men to support them, well deserved by the Crossland community. Now it's time for what I like to think is the best part of this show. Are we ready, Sharice, for a little trivia here?
We are ready for trivia.
She's going to explain the trivia portion of the show as we bring it on home. What do you got for us today?
All right, so I'm going to have 4 questions today. So I'm going to ask you 4 questions. It could be about anything. It can be about Crossland. It could be about sports or anything going on in the world.
Okay.
So if you get it right, you'll hear.
Okay.
And if you get it wrong, we don't really have a sound effect for it. It's just you get it wrong. So you all will have to come up with a answer. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You all will have to come up with the answer together.
Okay.
So
one answer for the group.
One answer for the group, yes.
Okay. No pressure, but Suitland was here last time. I think they got 2 out of 4.
Yes.
So can you beat Suitland?
Don't know. We're going to find out.
We're going to find out right now. Coach is competitive. I like it. What we got? First question.
All right.
Here we go.
So earlier we were talking about the We Are One Crossland. So I want you to fill in the blanks in this sentence that I'm about to give you.
Ooh.
At Crossland, we are one blank with one blank and one blank.
Oh, wow. That's a tough one right off the bat. Is that part of like the motto?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Can't look at your phones either. I bet you Principal Gilchrist is answering
typing
that.
away.
Is typing away right
away.
now. That answer. We are one blank, and one blank.
Yes.
Let's see. We are one family.
I would think that.
We are one Crossland.
With one mission and one goal, right?
There you go.
Did they kind of get it there with?
Okay, so that's like a type situation. So it is right. At Crossland, we are one family with one mission and one vision.
Oh, okay. We give them a half a point.
Yeah, that's a half a point for that one.
We give them half a point. All right. Question number 2.
All right, question number 2. Okay, so which rapper has earned the most Grammy nominations in the upcoming 2019 Grammys?
Did you say rapper?
Yes, rapper. Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Ooh. Coach, you know this one? Man, you and I are old. I don't know.
I'm going to say Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, what do you got there? You guys can help each other. Spit one answer out.
Oh, no, but you got Drake.
I'm not saying Drake.
Playing, you know?
I might say Drake.
Okay, so the answer is going to be Drake?
I might say
You're saying Drake.
Okay. The answer is Kendrick Lamar. Drake has the second most nominations.
You should have gone with your coach.
Second most.
You should have gone. Hey, listen, I've been in a car with Coach. Hey, he rocks the rap, so he knows. He knows that in some country. No, I'm just messing.
No, not country. Definitely not
question
All right,
number 3.
moving on. Okay, so which famous R&B singer is a graduate of Crossland High School?
Ooh.
Tyrese or Tank?
Tank.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I didn't know that. Tank.
All right, so this next question is very interesting. So Ohio State University recently just introduced a new vending machine to their campus. What does this new vending machine dispense? Bacon or sausage?
Wow.
I feel like it's bacon.
Yeah, I feel it's bacon too.
I feel like it's bacon.
Can you have bacon in a vending machine?
I mean, like.
Ooh.
All right, bacon?
Yeah.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Bacon in a vending machine.
Yes.
Yikes. Man, I hope they don't get
Something
that idea
new.
around here.
So we got 3 then, right?
I got 2 and 2.5. But because your coach really really had the right answer, we're going to give him 3. We'll give him 3. No, we appreciate you guys coming by. One more round of a hand for the Crossland Cavaliers. In all seriousness, fantastic year that you guys had. You deserve to be supported and lauded for the work that you did on the field, the work that you're doing in the classroom. Keep that up. And your school community, Principal Gilchrist, obviously there. We saw Assistant Principal Nabanette as well throughout some of the pieces. We know you got a great staff over there doing great things. Coach, appreciate you stopping by with your crew here on a Sunday. Not easy to get over here, so we appreciate you doing that. You can catch all of these, of course, on Vox Wave on YouTube. Check it out. Search Vox Wave, and you will see this show. All the schools that we have featured on PG13 this year are up. Potomac is next week, and then we'll have Frederick Douglass, who made it to the state championship. They'll be back as well. All the schools, all the teachers, all the players, all the school communities doing a great job. That's going to do it from here, from our studios here at Vox Wave. For Sharice, for Ron, for the Crossland Cavaliers, we are out of here. We'll see you next week, everybody.